A repaint can be a fun and cost-effective way to update some of your older models. Today, I will be painting one of the first models I ever painted, Boba Fett Daimyo from The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett for Star Wars Legion. Now, if you've never seen this model before, it's pretty fantastic. Leaning up and into a rock, Boba is poised to swing his gaffy stick on some unsuspecting foes. Now, in the scenes in the actual show, you'll find that Boba doesn't actually use the signature Tusken Raider weapon while he has his armor on, but he actually teams up both the Tusken Raider training with his armor and gadgets on the tabletop. All paint used in this video are Citadel paints, and if you enjoy this video, please subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's give Boba Fett a nice new paint job. So first thing we've got to decide is whether we're going to go and paint his dark green armor or the chipped and worn original armor. Personally, I love the dark green, so let's go with that. 1/2 Wa flesh and 1/2 warpstone glow makes the closest color that I could get to his armor and jetpack's paint scheme in The Mandalorian Season 2. Next, we're going to color the gaffy stick with Blood Reaver flesh. As you can see, when I first painted this fella, I definitely mucked up a lot of the colors, so it's pretty cathartic to do a more accurate paint job for our guy Boba. While we have Blood Reaver still on our brush, we can also go ahead and do a nice layer on his waist belt. Following that, we mix up half Mephiston red and half Genestealer purple to make the dark red on Boba's gauntlets and the visor split T shape. While we wait for that to dry, it's time to use a nice wash of Reichland flesh shade over the gaffy stick and belt to darken up the crevices. Using Corax white now, we're going to do a base layer over the shoulder pauldrons and knee pads. This will help the yellow layer really pop. And while that's drying, we use yet another wash, this time Creed Camo, over the green armor panels and jetpack. Washes are simple to apply and great at saving time while providing some awesome results. And now we get some yellow on the pauldrons and knees. I think Overland Sunset is probably the closest in terms of the actual yellows on his armor, so I went with that. It's alright if you get a bit of yellow on the cloth, since we're actually going to be going over that cloth again with another layer of Abaddon black paint too. Speaking of which, let's do Abaddon black now, shall we? Now this includes every piece of cloth under his armor, from the waist cape / cammer to even his boots. Following that, we crack open some lead belcher to hit some areas around the model, like the side of his helmet to the tops of his gauntlets. The small details make the larger sum look more complete by the end. The next few steps, I'm not going to lie, did not turn out as well as I hoped. And the good news is that your model is probably going to look a little bit different, so you don't even have to really worry about these next steps. But I figured I would update the Stormtrooper helmets on the base near his right foot. So I started with a black Templar contrast paint over them both, but this really just makes them look too dark. And unfortunately, there weren't any Death Troopers in any of these battle scenes, so I couldn't really get away with this scheme. So next I splotched in some Corax white to the helmets to brighten the colors back up to a whiter tone. Then, for the cherry on top, I added some Nuln Oil, and yeah, like I said, this didn't turn out too great. But, you know, you live and you learn. Now I was happy with the rest of the base, so now I only had to do some touch-ups here and there on the jetpack and pauldron, and then the model was basically done. So using Overland Sunset, I blocked in a few areas, then painted some bright Mephiston red paint on a few lines on the jetpack too. Using, of course, a picture of Google Images for a guide. Absolute last thing I did on the model was just using a little bit of Screaming Skull light paint on his left pauldron. And there we have it, a completed Boba Fett Daimyo unit for Star Wars Legion. Honestly, I'm super happy with how this turned out, and it only took roughly an hour all up. Now if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching, and if you want to see some more painting videos on the channel, please like and comment down below what you think of a Boba Fett Daimyo, and stay locked to the Cal Paints channel. Thanks for watching.